So good.
Oh, that's I'm a Man by
Yeah, I am.
the Spencer Davis Group.
I like it.
I dig on that stuff pretty bad.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man.
What's up, brother?
Been a while.
I know.
Episode
11.
Uzo. No, wait.
You made that up.
Did I just make up another language?
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Big time. Yes. That was our intro music today. Got some video going right there.
Yes, sir.
Sup, world. We'll be sure to get this up on the YouTubes and the Facebooks and the whatever. We're trying to go worldwide.
Worldwide.
Jody Mitic Podcast worldwide. Today we are at Greco Orleans in Luke's office.
Thank you.
What's up? This is your kingdom. This is your domain.
This is where I roll.
This is where you rule from.
That's right. Look out over the peoples.
The people's. This is where you decide whose soul you're going to snatch today.
That's right. I want that one.
Yes.
I want that one right there.
Bring me that one. Of course, we are fired up. Oh, I'm all out now already.
I know.
I'm
too.
I'm getting the coffee sweats.
Yeah.
From our Firehouse Coffee. Firehouse, Haus Coffee Roasters on Facebook.
That's right.
Do I dare ask?
No, you do not, sir. No, you do not.
I'm going to ask.
You stop it right now. I will not answer. I'm going radio silent.
So he has no website. All right. Well, that's cool. If you want to buy the coffee, send him a message on Facebook.
That's right. You'll get that shit.
I'm going to keep busting his balls on this. He's a firefighter. He can take it.
Fair enough.
A local first responder trying to make a few bucks selling some delicious coffee. Took it camping, by the way.
Yeah?
The espresso you gave me.
Right on.
So we didn't sleep much.
No.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I was up pretty late.
Excellent.
But anyway, we'll get into that. We got new social medias.
Yeah, we do.
I'm a little excited about this.
We got all of it.
Luke was a busy man while Jody was on a vacation, although vacationing with a 4 and 7-year-old. Not much of a vacation.
I hear that.
When it comes to it was awesome. We went camping. We went to Bonisher Park, Provincial Park. It's not a lot. Well, Alana found a really good meme. Camping where you spend hundreds of dollars to live like a hobo.
Yeah, that sounds accurate. Yeah.
Pretty close.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, while I was gone, Luke set up our new Twitter, which is the Mitic Podcast, MITIC Podcast, Snapchat, Mitic Podcast, Instagram, the Jody Mitic Podcast, and Facebook, the Jody Mitic Podcast.
So,
damn, you were busy.
Yeah, I was. You should see these thumbs. They're blistered. But for Twitter and for Snapchat, the name, you can find the name under the full thing, the Jody Mitic Podcast, and then these
just search it.
Yeah, you can search everything as the Jody Mitic Podcast, but the is Mitic Podcast.
Right.
So you can.
And you uploaded all the videos we got and all that already.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this guy, it's the Jody Mitic. Oh, by the way, days I've seen Luke Rowan without a Fighter in the Kid T-shirt. 0.
That's right.
Every time I see you. Single, except for that one time.
Well, now I have to.
Oh.
Yeah, now I have to.
So when he's going to see me, I'm wearing I think this is a Joe Rogan T-shirt.
Yeah, for sure that's a Joe Rogan.
Or an On It one. Conquer your inner bitch.
As I do.
That's what I told myself this morning when the alarm went off.
You needed it.
Buddy. Let's just jump right in. We were talking about camping.
Yep.
Camping was awesome. Every day we took the dogs down to the river. The kids went to the river. Barry, my sniper partner, and he's pretty much. I don't think. Him and his wife would probably be the guardians for the kids if something terrible were to happen.
Yeah, right on.
And so he saved my life. He was up to his elbows in my blood on the night I was wounded. So they stopped by for a night. That was awesome. And then there was a fire ban.
Right, I saw
Anyone
that.
who follows me on Instagram might have seen my substitute, which was a Coleman lantern.
Not bad.
Exactly like the ones we use in the military. Hang on, I'm just going to do a quick adjustment here. There we go. I'm not slouching like that. I'm back in Notre Dame.
Tall.
Yeah, real tall, son. So I had to use a Coleman lantern.
Awesome.
No. It was, and so they came to us on the second day, and we're just like getting the fire ready to cook steaks.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I was like, had it all up. It was burning perfectly. It was like, I'm like, another little while we'll be able to throw some steak and the chicken on the fire.
So good.
The night before we cooked hamburgers and hot dogs on the fire.
Right.
And then they come by like, yeah, there's a fire ban.
You're like, no.
And we're like, no, we're cooking. And they're like, yeah, if you restart it, we're going to have to like charge you and stuff. And she was trying to be nice about it. Alana's like, nobody told us. She's like, well, we're telling you now.
Right, yeah.
And I'm like, because the first thing in the morning when I just rolled out of bed and was making my morning firehouse coffee, I heard the guy who was, because we had the handicap accessible campsite.
Right, okay. Air quotations on that.
Nothing accessible about this site except that it was right next to the bathroom.
Right, okay.
So we met everybody.
Oh, of course.
It was awesome.
Yeah, amazing.
Kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Except at night there's a light that's always on.
Oh.
So whenever I woke up at night, I thought it was dawn.
Right, okay.
So I like, it's dawn. So I look at my watch. Oh, it's
Wait a minute.
It's 2 in the morning.
Yeah, so good.
And so I didn't bother with a wheelchair, but I should have. I think, I don't know. Like, it was just. But it was anyway. It was an awesome time. But like I said, with a 4 and 7-year-old, you don't get a lot of downtime. I brought 3 books.
Yeah.
Read half of one.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And that meant like ignoring the kids for a solid 6 hours.
Yeah, definitely.
Like Alana had a book. I think she read 10 pages.
Right.
I don't know. I'd have to ask her, and I'm like, you can't take the dogs to the beach.
Right. Okay.
So, and we had our dogs. So one of us had to stay with the dogs at all times.
Okay. Ugh.
Yeah, like it was kind of a bummer. Like I thought for sure if they were on a leash, they'd be allowed on the beach.
Yeah,
but there's like a line, like they're not allowed on the actual beach.
Right. Okay.
But like right before the beach, where there's all kinds of actually shade and picnic tables.
Right.
So so what she would take the kids down to the beach, and then I would, because I don't swim or anything now. Like it's just too much work. So I would take the dogs to the part of the beach where they were allowed.
Okay, right on.
Which is like way off the swimming part of the beach, and then we'd meet, like the kids would run over, and anyways, kind of cute. But so yeah, we're just constantly trying to keep the kids entertained, keep the dogs entertained, keep ourselves entertained. Might have had a few beverages. Try sticking to a bodybuilding diet camping.
Yeah, that's different.
A little tough.
Yeah,
a little tough.
Yeah.
The kids dig it though, because like. We got the little boxes of cereal.
Yes.
Which is like
amazing.
The best part about camping.
Yeah, obviously.
And I gave Ayla a Swiss Army knife.
Right.
And she was like, she's like, what do you mean this is my knife? I'm like, well, Dad was 7 when he got his first pocket knife from Grandpa, and I promptly lost it.
Right, of course, of course.
And actually, Dad broke the big blade in half.
Right, okay.
Or it was broken in half, and that's when he said, oh, I know, this is Jody's knife.
Okay, yeah.
And then so I give her the knife, and then the 4-year-old says, well, where's my knife? And I said, well, you get one when you're 7.
Yeah.
And then we used it to cut open the boxes of cereal.
Okay.
And awesome. It was, so she goes, we're allowed Corn Pops? I said, well, it's camping, so you're allowed, like the rules are different.
We're cutting loose.
We're cutting loose, and then she says, well, what do you mean the rules are different? I said, well, we're camping, so you can have frosted, like Daddy's eat Frosted Flakes, and I eat like the little box of Frosted Flakes.
Yeah.
And she says,
4 spoonfuls of Frosted.
And she says, well, can I have 2 boxes of Corn Pops for breakfast? I'm like, you can have all the boxes of Corn Pops for breakfast.
Right.
It's camping. You can do whatever you want.
Go wild, kid.
This morning, I come back from the gym, I got Cheerios and Shreddies.
Right. She
goes, Dad, where's the Fruit Loops?
Hey, you're not in the bush now.
That's what I said. I said, I told you that all ended when we got home from camping. Back to the rules of the house. And she's like, man, I really liked it when we were camping.
For sure.
They had a blast, though. They had an awesome time. I didn't expect the 4-year-old. Now, they're resilient kids. Ayla, when she goes away for Girl Guide stuff, she's like, the instructors... I remember the first time Alana goes and picks her up, she comes back, she's like, yeah, the instructors said she was, like, born to camp.
Right on.
She loves it.
She's 2 swings out of the trees, this kid.
She's mostly chimpanzee.
Right.
Kind of like the old man.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
kind of
it's-
thing. And then, so I wasn't sure because the 4-year-old, last time we went camping was like 1.5.
Right.
She was no shirt, pair of shorts, no shoes, like running around covered in mud, like dirt.
Yeah.
I'm just
Awesome.
like, yeah, that's
Perfect.
it. That's the kid. So yeah, it's great. It was amazing. And I gotta see. So I'm trying not to say even though my ums aren't as bad as our current prime minister's ums.
Sometimes.
Really, are my ums bad?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay. So
I'm just joshing you.
See, I just said again. So, but it's bad for microphone etiquette.
Right.
So, and we want to be professional,
Of course.
right?
Well, we have these microphones.
We look pretty good in that video, right?
Yeah, we
there.
do.
Like, look at that.
Standard. Oh. Do a few
Oh my
of these.
gosh.
Do a few of these for the people?
What's going on right there?
Incredible. For the people that can't see it, we're definitely just flexing. The whole
Yeah, look at that. Like, I have definition. You'd think I was bodybuilding or something.
Oh my god, look at this guy. It's a beast.
Anyway, this guy could sit down. Sorry about that, folks. 3.0 update, speaking of bodybuilding.
Speaking of which, what's going on with that cereal? How is that helping out the 3.0? Oh.
Had a chat with Nick, and we're going to push back the date. So it was November 5th. Now, the goal is 6-pack by the time I'm 40.
That's right.
It's still the goal.
Okay.
So I'm just looking for a little wiggle room here to give me like 90 days.
Yeah.
So we're going to do November 26th in Toronto.
T.O. Okay.
It's an open show.
Yeah.
And apparently the end of the year show for the OPA,
Okay.
the Ontario Physique Association.
Yeah.
So it's a massive party after.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
That sounds like the way
So
to
I'm
do it.
like, okay.
Yeah.
And just so
Right.
anyone watching or listening, Jody's 10-year anniversary getting blown up and 40th birthday party will be in Vegas during the SHOT Show.
Ooh-wee.
What are you doing?
Going to the SHOT Show! SHOT Show!
I mean, you don't have to go to SHOT Show.
Right.
We'll go down like a day earlier or stay a day after. Probably go early. The thing, SHOT Show's during the week.
Right.
17th to 20th. It's not a weekend.
Right.
Apparently, the AVN Awards are the same time.
What's that?
The adult video.
Oh, right. Okay.
And I don't know what the N is.
Network?
Adult Video Network. Adult Video.
Probably not network.
Pretty sure it's AVN.
Okay.
So yeah, all the
Okay.
porn stars are in town. I've heard things get pretty ugly.
I could imagine things could get a little
But no,
wild.
not good ugly though.
Right.
I had some guys were telling me some
Right.
stories. It's no bueno.
No, eh?
Well, you gotta like
Yes. I
imagine. From what I was told, it's the actual stars of the of movies
Yeah.
don't go out.
Right.
Right, they're actually most of them, from what I've been told, don't go any. When they go out, they go to places where they are all themselves,
Right.
just like real
Right.
stars, right? Like they
Right.
don't just wander into Tim Hortons because their
Yeah.
life would end, right?
Right.
They wouldn't get their coffee; it would be nothing but pictures. So they go to places where it's all them anyway,
Right. That makes
and
sense.
they don't let in the norms.
Yeah.
Which is actually excellent policy if you think about it.
Absolutely.
So, but the ones that do filter out are the ones nobody wants to meet anyway.
Right.
So it
right.
gets a little ugly all up in the casinos.
Right. I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Frankly, I want to go to Vegas. I've never been to Vegas. I'm pretty excited, but I just want to go to shoot guns, race cars. I'm not a gambler. I gotta be honest.
Neither am I.
I mean, I'll gamble with my health and safety, but
Sure.
gambling with my money, don't really see the appeal.
It never appealed to me.
Well, my cousin was addicted to gambling,
Right. Okay.
and it was just weird to me.
Yeah.
My brother likes poker. I could probably get into blackjack. No, not black. What's blackjack's 21, right?
Yeah. I could kind of dig that. Like, it's easy, it's quick, it's like, you know.
Yeah, but that's the one where in the movies everybody loses all their money.
Everyone loses everything.
Real roulette.
Always bet on black. Black
I
7.
was just gonna say Wesley Snipes, Passenger 57.
That's right.
Always bet on black.
I love it. That's a good movie.
It's an excellent movie, actually. Oh, I was thinking, you know what would be a fun idea for the podcast?
I know what you're going to say. Keep going.
Well, if you know what I'm going to say, why don't you say it?
Range 15.
Oh, we're doing that for for sure.
Thank you.
But I was thinking, like, so back in the day when I was still in the army and a young guy, like mid-20s, we would play games like Die Hard drinking game,
Right.
the
Okay.
Lethal Weapon drinking game.
Right. Okay. I follow.
So we don't need to drink.
Sure.
We could do shots of espresso and
Okay.
maybe a few tequila shots. But I was thinking maybe we could have a night where, you know, how Joe Rogan does fight companions.
Yes.
Right. So I don't want to bite on the fight companion because I don't think. Like, I love the UFC, but I don't know if I like it enough to have 10 people in a room talking on microphones.
Right. Yeah.
But we could have 4 or 5 of us in a room watching Die Hard.
Right. Yeah. We should do something like that.
I'm
For
just saying, like, it might be fun because, was it you I was talking to? And I was like, why am I stuck on the 80s and 90s action movies being the pinnacle of cinema?
We were talking about that.
Yeah, that was us, right? So, every generation has their heroes.
Yeah.
I think mine are Riggs.
Of course.
What's his name? Martin Riggs.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing brain farting now because we got the camera all nervous. And John McClane.
John McClane. Yeah.
Right?
Who kicks whose ass? Fisticuffs.
Ooh. Wow. That is a fabulous question.
Riggs had that like heel hook, right? Or like
Riggs.
he could spin that, but John McClane is just a badass dude.
Well,
Tough.
John McClane he's a brawler.
He's a brawler. He's
Like,
getting
he's a-
down. He's getting dirty with it.
He'll take 10 punches to deliver one knockout blow, right?
For sure.
Riggs is a bit of a
He's got some
wild man as well, but he's
Yeah, he
got
is.
he's got the skills to pay
That's
the
right.
bills. Like,
That's right.
remember, like in Lethal Weapon 1, him and Gary Busey were having the little quasi jujitsu slash not taekwondo.
You're looking for Muay Thai?
Muay Thai. There was like a Muay Thai
Yeah.
taekwondo thing happening out in the front lawn.
For sure.
But like Adam, our last guest, who said, real fights
It's
are
not going down
over
like that.
so fast.
That's true. That's true.
Man, this might be the
That's
question
tough.
of the decade.
We need the people to take to the Twitters and all of the social
But
media.
why do you want them to fight?
No,
What I feel like we need a crossover.
that's true.
Like they're still both almost young enough where they could do some
It's
fighting.
tough, but
But,
yes, okay.
Like, they should come together. Here it is. Here's their. You know what? Because Bruce Willis is making all kinds of terrible movies lately.
Yeah, he just doesn't care anymore. Just whatever, let's do it.
And like, are you gonna pay me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll show up to your movie set.
Huh? What do you want me
And he
to
always
say?
plays the same guy now. He's
Yeah,
always
oh, yeah.
like the evil or the bad like gangster dude.
Yeah.
Like with the shitty lines and no emotion. His last good movie I think was Red,
I didn't see it. I didn't
where he's
see
an
it,
ex-CIA guy,
but I know the one you
and
mean.
John Malkovich is in it.
Right.
And who's the Driving Miss Daisy? Morgan.
Oh, Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman.
Right.
Yeah,
You can't go wrong with Morgan Freeman.
you really can't. Anyway, I think that's the last good movie Bruce Willis was in.
It's been a while.
In my opinion, I mean, he might have been in something that people thought was just fabulous. But
Fair enough.
Not
Fair
me.
enough.
So anyway, Jody 3.0, we're pushing it back about 20 days
Yeah.
to give me that extra 20 days, and my goal is still to have at least like a 6-pack before I'm 40. I'm just a little bit of ways.
Get me
Actually, I can't believe it's August. What is it? It's like August 13th.
Yeah.
That's just crazy to me.
I know.
What?
It's flying.
Where does time go?
Everywhere. Gone.
Like, that's just
Busy.
Yeah. So life really gets in the way of bodybuilding. So now
100%.
I know why Nick disappears whenever he's close to a show,
Makes sense.
and
Sure.
anybody else I know, like they just vanish off of everything.
They need that focus. They need that one thing.
So yeah, like I was actually, and you know what? I've been following a lot of like the physique, because I'm doing the physique, right? So I get to wear board shorts and
a big old smile,
and you don't really do a pose routine. I guess they just tell you what they want to look at. But you gotta like, you know, like you gotta like show them.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah, shave the beard maybe.
Right.
But I'm looking at the guys who are like the pro physique dudes.
Yep.
I don't want to look like that.
Right. Okay.
Have you seen these guys?
Yeah. I mean,
their shoulders look like balloons.
But yeah,
like they're humongous. Like this part of the shoulder it's a big, and hey, cool, awesome that they managed to do that themselves. Sure. That's a lot of work.
Treat yourselves.
And their waists are like this.
Yeah, they're typically like, like under 30-inch waist.
Oh my gosh! Like sure. I don't want to be that skinny. Sure. I just don't. I want to. We were talking about CrossFit. I kind of want to look like a CrossFit dude.
Right.
Like I just think like I need functionality.
Yeah, they look more rugged.
And that's what I thought. Well, that's what I thought physique was.
Right.
Okay. I guess it is at the at the amateur level. Like I mean, I guess I'm talking about dudes that make a living at it.
Yeah. Of
so
course.
maybe I should settle down.
The extreme end. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because but the whole point of the physique class was to look more like what they used to look like at Mr.
Like Mr. Universe.
Like Mr. Olympia, yeah.
Right.
Well, which one is it? Which one was Arnold? He was Mr. Olympia.
Well, yeah, but he was also Mr. Universe before that, I believe.
But Universe, not the same.
Universe was, I would say it was like a smaller contest than what the Olympia was, I think. And maybe Mr. Universe was a contest before there was the Mr. Olympia contest.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right.
Yeah. My bodybuilding history is maybe not up to par right now.
Yeah, I mean,
it used to be though.
What was I just thinking about? Anyway, whatever. But you know what, like the Jody 3.0 kind of reminded me of?
What's that?
It's like just dedicating.
Yeah.
Especially like new things in life, And I want to play something for the listeners and for the viewers.
What do you got?
Well, I should have asked permission before, but I feel like Jocko won't mind. So one of the hardest things it is when you leave the military is the transition to civilian life.
Right. Yep.
And it's tough. And I'm no different. Lana's no different. Even Jocko. Anybody who knows. Well, most of our viewers met me through Jocko at this point. So Jocko's guy Echo put together a little clip of Jocko delivering a message. It's one that I've said, and it's one that other veterans have said that are deemed as successful. And it's one of the things that I try to say to people all the time. Like it's one of those. Life keeps going.
Right.
You can't. I liken it to. If you be proud of what you did, be proud of who you are, never forget that, but at the same time, you can't be stuck in it.
Right.
And if people don't understand, if people don't, like, if people just don't understand, they're not supposed to.
Right.
And that goes for anybody that does a job that is for the community and not themselves.
Right. Yep.
You're a fireman, you're a cop, I shouldn't say fireman, if you're a firefighter, you're a cop, you're a paramedic, you're a mall security guard, like, you don't do it to get thank you.
Right.
You do it because you believe in what we have.
Yep.
So I just want to play this clip, it's about 3.5 minutes.
Because we are talking about war, there's still tragedy and loss and darkness there.
There's a wicked video on YouTube for this.
And that's okay. And to you vets out there, if you're having one of those dark days, it's okay. It's okay. it's okay to feel that darkness. And it's okay to remember it and miss it and hate it and love it. And it's okay to wish it never happened, and at the same time to wish it never stopped. And it's okay to want to take it all back, and at the same time to want to do it all again. And if you've got in your mind that you think that people don't understand, that's okay. They don't. But you do. You know darkness. You know evil. But more important than that, you know good. You know light. You know laughter and love better than anyone. So, embrace that darkness. Own it. Don't look away from it. Don't bury it in booze or in pills. Live your life. Embrace your life. With physical activity and with nature and with jiu-jitsu and with sun and with laughter and guitar and good memories and creativity and discipline. Discipline yourself so you can free yourself. Move forward into the future, where there's no more darkness, no more war, but peace.
Oh my.
There it is.
Gosh, I love Jocko.
Yeah, so good.
So, but, you know, he's saying a lot of truth that a lot of people need to hear.
Right. Yeah.
You know? And I try to say this all the time as well. You didn't survive what you did to have a shitty life.
That's right.
Yeah. You know, you can't ignore it. And I've said this 1,000 times, and I've heard other people say it. Burying emotion is one of the things that leads to depression, or, you know, I get sad.
Yeah.
I get sad all the time. I get depressed. I don't want to say I get depressed, but I mean, I still have a psychologist I talk to.
Right on.
I think it helps.
Yeah.
I kind of call him, you know, my confessor.
Right. Okay.
So I confess all my bad feelings and, you know, maybe any misdeeds I may have done or whatever, or misdeeds I feel are there. And I've said it before. He tells me to take it much easier on myself.
Okay.
He's
Right.
like, you got to quit being so critical of yourself. But being critical of myself is what got me to where I am.
Right. Okay.
But you got to.
There's value in that.
There's value in it, but at the same time, you can't live your life with too many regrets.
Right.
Like, we all have regrets, but to let them rule your life and what you decide to do tomorrow, I think it's not living a life.
Right.
You know, I don't know, like I get emails all the time from guys who just they don't know what to do. They don't know how to feel. They don't know what to say. And I tell them that, kind of like what Jago said, it's okay.
Right. Yeah.
You're not supposed to.
Yeah.
And one thing you have to decide right now, today, this second, Whether, you know, like me, I decided I'm going to do a bodybuilding contest. That's a mission. You're no longer a soldier. You have to decide what your new mission in life is.
That's right.
Maybe you're no longer a cop. Maybe you're no longer a firefighter. Maybe you're no longer an accountant.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Lots of people lose their job. Like, you know, one day internal combustion engines are going to go away.
Right.
Every mechanic is going to have to decide,
what's next?
am I a mechanic on only internal combustion engines, or can I learn how to work on an electric car? Or on a battery pack? I don't know, you know, but, and I know this is a weird way to talk about it, but, you know, you can't be the guy worrying about what happened yesterday when you have to think about tomorrow.
That's right. Gotta move forward.
It's the only way. You have to literally keep moving forward. You got a Charlie Mike. You got to continue mission. The mission is what you decide it is. Are you going to be a good father? Are you going to be a good mother? Are you going to be somebody who sits on the couch? Are you going to be somebody that tries their best to be active? Are you going to be socially engaged? Too many people decide to just sit on the couch and wait for the world to come to them.
Right.
Or they just sit on the couch and hope the world doesn't come to them. I've seen that. You try to get them to come out and do stuff, and they have every fucking excuse in the book.
Yeah.
But I keep telling people it's okay. Because one day, that'll change.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I'm going to stop calling you. People might... I've told this to caseworkers from Veterans Affairs and other organizations that are there to help veterans and those that have gone through traumatic injury. You can't stop engaging with people.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, there's onus on the individual to realize they have to engage in the world.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the world's... Feeling like the world owes you anything is not good. The world doesn't owe you anything. You owe yourself.
That's right.
You owe those around you. You know, and it's like when we were talking about suicide. Again, you didn't survive everything you did just to leave the planet.
Yeah.
You gotta, you know, live your life. Be, you know, your friends didn't die and you lived for you to spend your time in sorrow and depression. And if you're depressed, again, it's okay, but seek help.
Yeah. Seek
the knowledge that will help you get to the other side of what you're dealing with. You know, like if you break your leg, you're not just going to sit around and mope about it. You're going to go to the doctor and get that thing splint, and then you're going to rehab.
Figure it out.
You got to do that for your emotions too, you know. I don't want to go on a rant here, but some stuff, you know, going on in the background that, you know, has got me thinking about this stuff a lot more. And blaming others. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm sure there's certain situations and moments where it's other people's fault that you are where you are. Maybe they didn't action something. Maybe they did something that put them somewhere, and then you did. But that's just life.
Right. Those things happen.
Some people, and you got to cut them out of your life, are toxic. I call them anchors.
Right.
They will keep you locked in one spot, spiraling around one or two incidences, and if you try and move, it's like the anchor is getting dragged through the sand slightly, and now there's an issue with something else.
Right.
They're the ones who are always, did you hear what that bitch said? Did you see what he did? Can you imagine this? What are we doing? What are we talking about here?
Right, yeah.
You know, the people that get mad at, you know, like some people, you know, they get, like the ones that get jealous of an ex-girlfriend or an ex-boyfriend. Have you heard of these people?
Right, yeah.
You ever
yeah,
had somebody
sure.
like that in your life?
Not
My
really.
buddy had a girlfriend who ripped up all the pictures of his ex-girlfriends.
Oh, no. Yikes.
Well, I mean, we were a lot younger, but at the same
sure.
time, like, I know 40-year-olds that act like that.
Right. Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? So back on point, though, you know, it's okay. Deal with it, but move forward.
That's right.
And how far do you move forward? Whatever, you know, if it's an inch a day, it's an inch a day. It's like when I was recovering from losing my feet, I told myself, once I had booked my prosthetics, I said, every day, even if I just put them on and stand up for 5 minutes and then sit back down, I'm going to do it.
Right.
And it, eventually led to me running the half marathon and being the awesome individual you see before yourself today. But
there you go.
Like that's all it is. It's a millimeters movement at a time. Like like the Earth, the continents move in millimeters.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yep.
Right.
Keep things going in the right direction.
But they keep moving. It's not an overnight thing. And if somebody comes to you and says they got the magic bullet or the magic elixir, run.
Yeah.
Fuck those people. They're just there to suck your emotion out or something. Like, it's like those lose 30 pounds in 30 days.
Right.
Beat it.
Yeah.
Get out of here, you huckster.
That's not happening.
It's not happening.
No snake oils.
No snake oils. Oh. Wait, no, we'll save that for... Remember I told you about this guy?
Yes.
We gotta talk about him.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
You wanna talk about the Olympics? How about that green pool that smells like farts?
I've heard lots of people over there are just dropping the ball.
What do you mean?
That, like, the pool is turning green, it's nasty, they don't have things figured out. I don't know.
Are we focusing only on the negative?
Well,
or is it a big deal when an Olympic pool turns green?
I mean, like, probably they should have a pool guy that knows what's going on, right? I mean, is it a big deal? Like, is it going to affect their performance? I don't think so. And the performance is like the number one thing. Yeah, you think so?
Well, you're used to diving into a blue clear pool.
Right. Okay.
That one's green and it smells like farts.
Right.
I feel like that would throw me off my game a little bit.
Yeah,
now,
maybe.
If everyone has to jump into a green pool that smells like farts,
then
well, that's different.
Yeah.
But if some people are jumping into a regular pool,
right,
but I got to jump into the green one that smells like farts,
that's true.
I'm going to go ahead and say I don't want to jump into this pool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, why is it green and smell like farts?
Yeah, the poo pool.
Well, what's going on? What are we talking about here?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
It seems like the international, what's it, the
IOC?
IOC, I don't know, like, is it one of these things, like, where our expectations are higher than reality, maybe?
I don't know. Like, what expectations?
I don't know, that's what I'm, like, I was listening to reporters talk about reporters and how the media gets down there and the games haven't started and they're usually there a week or two before and there's nothing to do, so let's look for issues.
Right, okay.
Which is what the media are awesome at.
That's true.
Kind of like Dave Rivley, who wrote about this podcast and then refused to come on it because it would be against his principles.
Right.
Or something. Well, I'll write about you, but I won't come on and talk to you.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever.
Huh.
So that's the media, right?
Yeah.
They always look for the negative.
Oh, yeah, like...
I should say they always do.
People aren't going to read the story that says, like, hey, everything's fine. Like that. Like that's not a story, right?
I mean,
so
media today is a business.
Yeah.
So they are looking for clicks.
Gotta get clicks.
So if you can write about how the Olympic Village isn't ready, and the Zika virus is keeping athletes away. I read an article the other day about a woman who does equestrian something or other, and her horse got bit.
Right. Okay.
By some crazy bug.
Right.
And he was all messed up.
No
so
way.
she canceled her run.
Oh yikes!
So she's out of the comp from Norway or the Netherlands. So I don't know. Like it just seems to me like in Rio it was a great idea, but what's the legacy going to be?
Yeah, I think it's largely going to be probably negative.
But is it not? Is the Olympics something that only a few select countries should be allowed to bid on? I don't think so.
But no, I mean, like anybody, I guess, should be able to bid. I think that's great, but like, were they ready for it? Probably not. Right?
Well, how far in advance do you know that you're going to be doing it? Is it 12 years or 8 years or? I think it's 8.
I don't know, but it's somewhere like in that time frame.
It's got to be 8 years minimum.
I think so.
For sure, right? I don't know. I don't know. like, you know, like Sochi, they say, in Russia, they say it was mostly Putin giving his buddies contracts and then paying them in, you know, way more money than,
Right.
you know, Vancouver cost 1/10 of what Sochi did.
Is that right?
I don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, didn't he spend like $5 billion or something crazy like that?
I don't know what the
or
numbers
50
are.
billion?
Amazing.
Where's Matt? Well, yeah, he couldn't make it to it. But yeah, like that's what I mean. Like they're spending more money because in Sochi they literally, I think, built a city where there was just a little village.
Right. Okay.
And then now that it's like everything's falling apart.
Right.
But a lot of Olympic venues end up like that.
Yeah. Because like, what are they going to do with them after? Actually, I saw an article. I didn't have a chance to read it. I'm going to have to go back and look at it. About what all the venues in Rio are going to be repurposed for. Because I was thinking, like, what the hell are these people going to do with these places?
Play soccer.
Play soccer, yeah. They're all going to be soccer stadiums. Good point.
Soccer and volleyball.
Yeah, good.
Maybe,
I
I don't know. Like, one thing about Brazilians, I guess, is that they are an extremely active population.
Right.
Like, very athletic, very fit, very good looking for the most part. Not... You know, talking to people that have been down there, you know, it's dawn and there's like hundreds of people showing up at the beach to play volleyball and run. Cool. They're always running everywhere. Like they're just very active. So, you know, that's good.
Yep.
So maybe, you know, in the future the Brazilian track and field team will be awesome.
Right.
And that's what you want, right? Like whatever venues that get built, you expect them to continue to have a legacy of bettering the local. Like in Toronto, we did they did, what was it, the Commonwealth Games?
Pan Am Games?
Pan Am Games.
Yeah.
So all the venues that were used and built and improved on now are an asset to the local sports groups.
Definitely.
So there should be a surge in Ontario swimming and track and field and that in the future. So,
speaking of swimming and good things going on in Rio, there's that. Is she 16? That 16-year-old girl winning gold medals?
What's her name again?
And just cleaning up.
Do we got her name?
I don't know her name. I don't remember.
Ooh. Did you see what the American goalie for soccer said after they lost yesterday?
No.
Ooh, she's not a nice person.
No, she's bad. She's bad news bears.
A lot of people that I respect have said, I'm never talking about her again.
Really? What'd she say?
What's her name? Hope something? Oh, she was just totally mean about losing. She said that the wrong team lost and we lost to a bunch of losers and like all this like
sour grapes.
Bad loser.
Yeah.
And then there was the Egyptian that wouldn't shake the hands of the Israeli after he lost in judo. Okay. And everybody is saying, oh, what a terrible thing. And it's, you know, there's a lot of factors in those types of sports. Like, maybe it was because the guy was Israeli, but probably it was because he just beat him in judo.
He was probably
like a lot of those guys get pretty intense.
Yeah, of course.
Those grappler one-on-one combat guys.
Yeah.
So maybe the dude just didn't want to deal with the fact that he just lost.
Yeah.
Never mind. And then on top of it, the guy's Israeli.
Right.
And I'm Egyptian.
Yeah.
Oh, of all the people to lose to, it had to be the Israeli guy.
Yeah.
I'm sure they shook hands later. I don't know. That stuff just kind of, it's part of the Olympics though. It's competition.
For sure.
It's the biggest stage in the world for that stuff.
Of course, you're going to be upset. You've worked like the last.
Did you see those guys? Did you see the picture?
Like,
4 years.
No, I didn't.
Probably like since they were like 12.
Yeah, for sure they've spent a lifetime, but like they've like realized the fact that like okay, this is my Olympics, and they've probably been focused on solely that. You know, building everything.
All I know is that was the biggest Egyptian I've ever seen.
Right.
That dude was humongous. And the Israelis standing there, like they just looked like a couple of like bricks.
Right. Okay. Right.
Yeah, those are professional judos.
Sounds right.
Got to get my kids into that.
I did watch some of the 25-meter pistol shooting. Tough to watch, brother. But I was watching it on the CBC app, and it didn't have any commentary with it. So the commentary adds a lot. So it was just complete silence, and these ladies shooting 25-meter pistols, and like these pistols have like a huge handle on them too. What's with that? What's going on there?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah, bizarre.
Hey, no offense to Olympic shooters, but I'm not hanging with you.
Oh, I watched about 4 minutes, and then I was
Yeah,
like, I'm good. I'm good on this.
They're very good shots, doing very whatever. But I don't.
I want to see them going through
Sport?
obstacle, barrel roll, up over,
Yeah, I mean, hey,
Let's get wild with
if
it.
you think about it, the Olympics started as a show of your war skills.
Right, yeah.
Javelin throwing. There used to
Right.
be wrestling, discus. There's all these sports in the first Olympics. Running, which was part of being messaging between armies.
Right.
Now, ping pong's an Olympic sport, bro.
Yeah, man.
And pool, I think Olympic pool, like billiards.
What? Really?
I think so.
I've never heard that.
I think so.
Okay, well.
That's cool. Hey, awesome.
Okay, they want those, but we almost lost wrestling.
We
as
did
an
lose
Olympic-
wrestling for a while.
Yeah, but it's back, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's only been in the Olympics for 8,000 years.
Yeah, like, how can the oldest sport, or one of the oldest sports, be ditched? Yeah, right.
Politics, man.
Of course.
Well, you never. Who knows? We don't know the inner politics of the Olympic
Right.
Committee,
Yeah.
which apparently are brutal.
I'm sure it's a
And-
massive undertaking.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if Olympic wrestling was taken out, there was probably a really good reason.
Right. Air quotations.
If you're in the inner circle.
Right, yes.
You know what I'm saying? And if I remember right, I think they said there was like basically something to do with the fact that the International Wrestling League or Association or whoever the governing body is didn't pay their dues or wasn't showing up at meetings or just wasn't collaborating or so it's like,
okay.
well, if you're not going to get on board, then you can't show up.
Beat it.
Like you can't just
Right.
you can't like not be part of the process and then expect to stay
Can't
in the
play
games.
the game if you don't go to practice.
I don't know. Any wrestlers out there, totally school me. I'm happy to be schooled. I'm not a wrestler, never was. Anyway.
Yeah.
You got a coach's corner.
I do.
Well, before you did I show you this pen? Did I
Yeah.
talk about this pen?
Yeah, well, you did earlier to me before we started to
Did
record.
we talk about this one? So this pen is from Moleskine,
Okay.
by the way, if you can see it. It's shaped like a rectangle. Best pen I've ever had, just so you know.
Fancy
Moleskine, you go ahead and send us a sponsor check whenever you get a chance.
And we like big old box pens.
Big old box, because it was like $15. Apparently I gotta refill it though.
Okay.
I'd rather just get it. I think I'm gonna go buy a new one today. Another one. So I'm always, like, I lose a lot of pens.
Yeah.
And it has that satisfying scratch as you go along the paper.
You could hear it, right? And you're like,
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
it's tearing up the fibers.
Coach's Corner, my friend, go!
So we were talking about earlier, how good did you feel when you were out camping, being in the natures? Do you feel good?
Oh, I love it. No, I love being outside. One thing I definitely miss about being a soldier is my amount of time spent outside.
Right. Okay. Right on. I was reading some reports. It was a summary of a bunch of reports that were done in a journal in Australia about people who would spend a minimum of 30 minutes outdoors, like in a park setting or just like outdoors in
Per
nature,
day?
per week. So 30 minutes per week reduces blood pressure, reduces by 9% instances of depression by just being outside. Which like 9% sounds small, but when you look at it overall for the country, this was for Australia, it related to like $12 billion in savings.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, huge of like just getting outside.
So did they say why?
No, like they didn't say exactly why, but I know for myself when I get into nature, it feels better.
Yeah.
It feels so good.
So your body needs vitamin D
Yes.
so badly it makes it itself from the sun.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
We used to live outside until I don't know, a couple thousand years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, depending on where you live in the world, some people still live outside.
Yep.
You know, they liken behavior of the more compact things are, the more instances of like mental collapse.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
So it's the same, like scientists will do the same with rats. They'll put a couple rats in a cage and everybody's cool, everybody's happy, no big deal, blah 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 blah. And then you start putting more rats in the same amount of space. And you see like the same correlation, like rats just going to the corner talking to themselves, like, you know, just randomly attacking other rats.
Right.
Self-harm, blah blah. Same things humans do.
Yeah.
Same things
That's right.
chickens do in those grow up in the chicken farms.
Yep.
Same thing pigs and cows do in the mega farms. Humans are no different. We're an animal. Also, we are constantly bombarded by radio waves, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi now, electrical power lines.
Yeah.
So of course, when you get out and there's less people around you and there's less technology and there's less of everything, your brain and your body are automatically going to go into a more natural state.
Yeah. When I go hunting and I go and I find my spot and I'm all by myself and I'm there for maybe like an hour or two all alone, totally quiet, it's probably the best feeling ever. Actually,
100%.
like I feel like my body just like it's like, yeah, it's like returning home after being gone for so long. It feels so good. Just
I read a thing that said you need to walk even barefoot, or you need contact with actual earth.
Yeah, because
every now and then,
because your body takes up the negative ions that the earth is charged with.
Yeah,
and
it's like a grounding wire on a car.
Exactly. Yeah, it's called earthing. And it's grounding yourself, right? Because all of the stressors are like a positive ion. So if you can get more of those negatives, it'll physically make you feel better and healthier.
I actually bought a thing that you plug into your wall at night.
Yeah.
To try and recreate it.
Yeah.
Oh, it was bad.
Yeah.
I think I still have it. I bought it from the guy who pretended bulletproof coffee was his idea.
Oh, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody out there, he's the bulletproof everything guy.
Right,
bulletproof
yeah. David Asbury?
David Asbury. So I bought it off him.
Right.
Worst week of sleep ever.
Oh, no.
And so you plugged it into the negative on the wall of the socket.
Yeah.
And then you laid it under your bed, under your pillow or under your sheet on your side of the bed.
Right.
Yeah, it didn't work.
No, eh?
No. So I make a point to just try and lay in the grass whenever I can.
Yeah, it feels good.
Oh, it feels so good. Green is also a naturally relaxing color.
Right, true.
So, quick shooting tip, if you're out shooting and you're shooting long range and you feel like a strain in your eyes, try and look away and look at the grass or the trees or whatever around you.
Right,
It'll relax your visual, whatever.
Right on. Very cool.
Your eyes.
Yeah. So get out into nature.
Make a point of it, man. One thing people ask me quite often as well is, how do I become a good sniper or a good soldier? Just go sit outside. Right. Get to know your office. This is your workspace.
Yeah.
I tell them, go out in the woods and just sit down. How does it feel? Is it going to rain? Is it windy? What are the animals doing? What's the dirt feel like? Is this that's your environment. That's your workspace. If you want to be a sniper or recon or any kind of specialized soldier, you got to know. Oh, the pressure's dropping.
Right.
The clouds are falling.
So
I better get out my rain gear.
Right.
Preempt that stuff.
Yeah.
If you wake up and it's really warm in the morning, what does that usually mean? Oh, it's gonna rain.
Right.
Is it cold? Do I put on a sweater? No, because a little bit later it's going to be hot, and then I'll be sweating, and I'm going to be on the move, and I won't have time to change. And you just got to get to know your environment.
Right.
Be comfortable outside.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. A big part of it. A big reason a lot of guys and girls can't do those gigs, whether it's sniper, recon, clearance diver, just a lot of like observation. Like a lot of these jobs just involve being comfortable in discomfort.
Right. Yeah.
Being, just acclimatize yourself to the fact that your physical comfort is going to be secondary.
Yeah.
And there's ways to be warm and comfy.
Right.
Anyone, it used to be like considered a tough thing to be cold and miserable. Dummy.
Don't do it.
Not this guy.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. You're less attentive. You're less reactive. You get tired faster when you don't eat. You don't sleep, and you're always cold or you're always too hot.
Yeah.
You're just not going to be as effective.
That makes sense.
So you got to learn how to be effective with the minimum amount of input and the minimum amount of external factors. By that I mean, like, how many fleeces do you need to wear? Do you bring one whoopee or two? And everybody, if you don't know what a whoopee is, look it up. It's the greatest invention for a soldier ever. Do I need to bring more rations or more ammo? Guess which one I usually choose. But a lot of that is just knowing nature.
Right.
What's nature doing? What's it saying to you?
Very cool.
That's a good coach's corner. I like that one.
Thank you.
So we got this young guy in Strathroy, Ontario,
Yes.
was killed by the RCMP when he resisted arrest. I guess he was setting off IEDs in the house or something crazy like that.
Well, I think he was like building them.
But he was setting them off.
Apparently,
When they came to the door, he set one off.
Right,
And he was about to set off another one when they shot him.
what I heard is like he set one off in the back of the cab that he was taking to go to the mall. He was taking a cab to go to the mall, and that's when they intercepted him. They were waiting outside of the house, and they were watching
He took a cab to his terrorist attack.
Yeah, well, okay.
See, this happened when I was camping. Otherwise, I would know this. But
So the FBI.
yeah, hey, one way to the mall.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
So the FBI alerted the RCMP because this guy had been in contact with all sorts of jihadists and things like that, and he was already being watched. He had a peace bond.
So he met the criteria that Adam talked about.
Exactly what we were talking about. He was doing all those things that throw up the red flags. So FBI alerts RCMP, and that was at I think they said it was 8:30 a.m. and by 11 they had sorted out that this is our guy, and then they were watching his house, and I think it was 4:30 p.m. He gets into a cab and they're like, "Say what was this guy doing?" So they go to shut it down. And he had called the cab to take him to the mall, which is apparently a fairly big mall near London, and I guess they assumed he was going there to do some damage with the explosives that he had. It was also near the Via Rail transit as well as the bus station, so maybe that was coming into play. And I don't know if he was shot first in the cab and then he detonated the explosion.
What I heard is
he detonated it first
and then they shot him.
And then they shot him, yeah.
Because he was going towards another one, or he was trying to set off another one.
Right, yeah. So
I don't know. Adam has a buddy that he wants to bring on the podcast, so I feel like episode 12 or 13 we'll get into this a little bit more.
Let's do it.
What do you think?
Yeah, let's do that because he can probably peel back a few layers on it.
Let's skip. Italy proposes jail for vegans.
Yeah. So this comes from. I was like, this has got to be from a
Where
fake.
did you get this?
So
From the Blaze.
I saw it on the Twitters, but it's a BBC. It's a BBC article. So I don't know.
As funny as it is, though, that's that would be like putting people in jail that don't raise their kids in the right religion.
Right.
What's the right religion?
Right.
Exactly.
They also said in the article, what about jailing parents who kids are morbidly obese, right? So it brings up a lot of things.
There's a lot of.
I can't see it getting.
Okay, well, hang on. Italy proposed. It wasn't Italy. It was some guy in the Italian government.
Right.
Who hates vegans for some reason.
Right. Well, apparently, and this is on the back of children being hospitalized and realizing that they're malnourished because they're on, well, I don't want to say necessarily because they're on this strict vegan diet, but they're on a strict vegan diet, and apparently that has led them to be so far deficient in all these markers that they became really ill. So they're talking about like 1 year in jail for if the child is getting sick, and like up to only 6 years in jail if that child dies because of it. But and then these years like in between. But
look at it in Canada. The guy, the parents, his kid died of. You know what I'm talking about. No. In Alberta, the anti-vaxxers.
Oh right,
Their kid died of meningitis.
Right.
And a nurse even told them, and they still continue to give them red peppers, and they continue to play the martyr.
Right.
Because their kid died, and they had to go to jail for it.
Right. Yeah.
Cuckoo. Yikes. Cuckoo. Yikes. Cuckoo. But anyway, I firmly believe a child does not fare as well on a vegan diet. Vegetarian maybe.
Right.
But vegan is, I don't know enough about it, but from what I've understood, it's kind of like a religion.
I think a lot of people treat it that way.
Yeah, like you're supposed to live your life a certain way and blah, 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 blah. But the jail, man, like that's such a slippery slope, because then you could jail people for, like you said, is their kid getting fat, and is that their fault, and this and that, and then just maybe they're not taking their kid outside to sit in the ground for 30 minutes a week. Like, well, now you're going to jail.
It raises a lot of interesting questions, for sure.
Yeah, but at some point we are going to have to acknowledge that the way people raise their kids has a lot to do with how society is.
Definitely.
But is there a right way to raise a kid?
There's no.
There's definitely a wrong way.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't think there's a right way.
That's right. That's right.
As long as you raise the child to be 18 or self-sufficient, like
everything needs to be in balance, right? And like everyone's balance is different. It's tough.
Well, there's also like you hear it all the time. You need a license to drive, but you don't need a license to have a kid. Well, yeah, it's part of being human is that you have the right to have a child.
That's right.
Like, what's that movie with Batman? The guy who plays Christian Bale, where they're not allowed to have emotions.
Not allowed to have emotions.
Yeah, and they're like, and he's like an enforcer of the non-emotion.
I don't know.
And they're not allowed to know the past. They're not allowed to have anything that gives pleasure, or pain, or sadness.
Yeah, I don't know.
Everyone has to take every day, an alarm goes off in the whole society, and everyone stops and takes their anti-emotion shot.
Okay, right. Yikes.
Pretty good movie for action, actually, right. And it had Sean Bean in it as well, that British dude. To me, that's what you're in danger of becoming the Borg.
Right.
When you start going down those roads.
It's true.
I think. That's, like, where do you stop? It's kind of, like I was arguing with Adam. It's not illegal to do what I do today.
Right.
But with unwarranted monitoring and this, that, and the other thing, one day it could be illegal to be an asshole on social media.
Right. And
even Twitter is starting to ban people who aren't toting the line.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like, one guy, I forget his name, he's on Milo.
Oh,
he's like an ultra masculine, he's a gay dude, which is kind of funny that he's this uber pro male dude. I shouldn't say funny, but like he's constantly criticizing things that would make. How do you describe him, actually? He's very tough to describe. He's super conservative, right. Ultra right wing.
Yeah.
He was making fun of the new Ghostbusters movie and criticizing it.
That's right.
And he got banned from Twitter by Twitter.
Yeah, get out of here.
They took away his check mark.
Right.
I guess that made him verified. Like I have a check mark. I'm verified. They took it away. He gained over 20,000 followers.
Right. Yeah.
Because everybody went, oh no, you don't.
Yeah.
Like, and then Twitter went, okay, well you know what? Then we're just gonna ban him.
See ya.
Because he wasn't toting the whatever line that they had decided.
Yeah.
Which is all he was saying is that it's silly. His view is that the men in the movie are emasculated, and why do a remake with all women? I don't have a problem with any of that.
Yeah.
Men have been emasculated in media for the last 15 years.
Right.
We're always like the other kid
Right.
that the woman has to look after, and like, oh, I can't make a decision. I need the wife or I need the mom. It's funny, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Not funny. I mean, it's funny to watch the movie sometime, but at some point it does get a little old.
Yeah.
But that doesn't, like, you should be banned from Twitter?
Yeah, it's weird.
It's like when I was getting beat up on Twitter, I call it, over my support of the police. Most of these people don't even have the real names and pictures.
Right.
Or the place where they're from.
Right.
And they're all going to scream butthurt because this guy makes fun of a movie?
Yeah.
Aren't you allowed to criticize movies?
You should.
It's not against the law.
I think so.
Last time I
I think
checked.
you can criticize movies.
But that's the slippery slope.
That's right.
At some point, what you're doing today might not be illegal, but tomorrow, someone might decide, someone might get into a position where they can make it illegal, and they don't like that.
Yeah.
They don't like that you make fun of movies with all women in it.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that.
And then you're cut. Boom.
You shouldn't do that. Now you're going to go to jail because you're mean.
Yeah.
Huh?
Since meanness? Damn it.
It's illegal to be a dick?
Guess. It's getting there.
Well, in one way.
Right, yeah.
Unless you're an ultra left-wing or left-wing progressive, I guess you can still be a dick.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know.
People get mad at me too because I say social warrior fascists.
That's right.
Yeah, people get mad at that.
Yeah.
Don't call me that. I didn't call you anything.
No.
There's just certain people out there.
Some people are.
That would trample on liberty to claim the right of protecting feelings.
Right.
And sensitivities.
That's right.
And safe spaces.
Anyways.
I gotta get rolling here, buddy.
Yeah.
Let's do some fan stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got some stuff?
Yeah, I got a couple things that I've squirreled away. There was a comment that I wanted to bring up that somebody sent in, and it says, Jody, I would like to thank you for your service and sacrifice. I would also like to thank you for one of the lessons you have taught me. I am an officer and SWAT operator on the local team in New Jersey.
This is what I was looking for.
In the U.S. After hearing you on Jocko podcast...
Okay, we edit it for places and names. Okay, keep going though.
But there's no name in there.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
You just said place though.
Right.
Keep going.
Okay. So after hearing you on the Jocko podcast and your lesson on dry firing your brain, that lesson has proven in the field last night. Between you and Jocko, I was successful in apprehending the suspect last night. I have ordered your book and subscribed to your podcast. I want you to know the impact you've made on my life. Thank you.
I've got goosebumps.
That's awesome.
First of all, sir, thank you for the service you give your community selflessly every day. I say it all the time, and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. I deployed for 6 months at a time. You deploy every single day. Second of all, don't credit me and Jocko with that. I mean, bro, you took the dude down. You were the one physically there, mano a mano.
That's huge.
Taking it to the bad guys.
Yeah.
Like
Badass.
badass.
Badass. Yeah.
Thank you, though, for, I guess, reiterating the fact that mental preparation is key to, are we being...
No, we're good. We're good.
Somebody just came in the gym.
Yeah.
Oh, who's that again?
That's Greg.
Greg.
Yeah.
I know his sister.
Oh yeah, oh, yeah that's
Yeah,
right.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's our common.
Yeah.
Does he want to come on the podcast?
Not right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see this. Is this the message?
Yeah, it's in there.
Man, like, hey, bro, listen. I hope you're listening. You know who you are. And, and I think, you know what, man, like, mental preparation is so important for these types of jobs. And I'm going to be talking to some troops in a couple weeks out in Winnipeg. And I'm going to talk to them about this. One of the reasons I do firmly believe that I did not end up being more of a mental basket case than I am over what happened to me is because I visualized every possibility.
Right.
And this goes back to our discussion a little bit earlier about moving forward. Visualize where you want to be.
That's right.
Visualize success. Visualize failure.
Yeah.
Run through that drill in your mind. Drill that into your brain. This is the possibility. This is failure. Right up and including death.
Right.
We don't want that.
No.
But at the same time, you got to accept sometimes things like getting your legs blown off happens.
Right.
Sometimes your partner gets shot in the face. Sometimes, man, I know guys who were vaporized.
Yeah.
I know a guy who watched a guy get vaporized right in front of him and had his parts rain down on him. I mean, I know several guys like that, but he's the one that I think about the most. You know, because it affects you to see that stuff.
No doubt.
But you need to consider that, because that's the gig.
Yep.
Yeah. So this young man, or you know, this beast, this stud, who's out there laying it down and taking it to the bad guys, sir. You are an example to your fellow officers, and they should be turning to you for advice on how to prepare. You know, mandatory reading for me, anyone who wants to get into the tough guy job world, On Killing and On Combat by Colonel Grossman. Look them up. They're kind of dry.
Right.
Kind of hard to read. But they help you realize the value of stress inoculation and self-actualization through visualization. Wow, I sound like Tony Robbins for a second there. And you know what? Tony Robbins, he's no joke.
Yeah, you like him?
He is no joke, man. Like, I watch his special on Netflix.
Right.
Read his books. I'm trying to read his one book on money right now, but it's like this thick, and I don't know that much about numbers except for ballistics.
Right.
And yeah, man, like, you know, they say it's 10,000 hours.
Right.
Or 10,000 repetitions.
Yep.
Some of those can be in your mind.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, with dry firing is going through every motion of firing your rifle or firing your pistol, just without the actual bang.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with
Practice.
game playing it in your mind.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, congratulations, sir, and thank you for crediting myself and Jocko. But I'm going to tell you what, you know, I'm sure Jocko would echo it. You did the job.
Right on.
You know, all we were is, you know, we were one piece of advice you found in this world that you took to heart. And I, you know, if that made you do your job better that one day, well, I think I've done mine.
That's good.
Yeah. What else you got?
Another question here. It says, hey Jody, I wanted to thank you for writing your book because it inspired me to start my path towards the Canadian Armed Forces.
Cool.
As I am in grade 11, I want to prepare myself for the training ahead. Could you give me some advice?
Oh, well, if you're listening carefully, young man, I've been dropping it this whole podcast.
Yeah, you have.
If you want to be cool and be in the infantry, and if you want to be even cooler and make it to a specialized job, snipers, recons, Canadian Special Operations Regiment, do what I said. Get to know your environment. Your job is not in a building, you know. And a lot of training happens in a building, and you know, it's safe. There's no rain. There's no fire. There's no sun. There's a lot of reasons why you train inside. but you need to be outside. And if you trainers out there, you troop leaders, you guys that are in charge of, who have people under you, get them out into the area as much as possible. Find new areas. One problem we had in Petawawa, Canadian Forces Base Petawawa, now Canadian Armed Forces Base Petawawa, I imagine, since we changed our name again, I didn't need a map. After 5 or 6 years there,
Yeah.
I didn't need a map. Even if I had, I didn't even need a compass.
Okay.
You just
get
get
to know it.
You just get to know it.
Yeah.
Down in Bonachere, there's an airfield there that's still owned by D&D.
Right.
We used to take sniper courses there. Never been here before.
Yeah. There you go.
Go ahead, find your way around.
Yeah.
And it really starts to challenge their fieldcraft.
Right.
Fieldcraft and physical fitness are your two number one priorities as a frontline soldier. They will, again, and fieldcraft is what I was talking about before, just being comfortable.
Right.
Being able to be comfortable no matter what the situation. That doesn't mean you're completely cozy,
Yeah.
feeling like $1 million.
But being comfortable with being uncomfortable.
You minimize the discomfort.
That's right.
And then the more rested and fed and nourished you are, the better you can operate. And when you're outside, just like I said, get to know it. Now, I get a lot of, what should I do to work out and how should I prepare physically? And a lot of guys, a lot of like newer soldiers look at guys like me and some of the JTF guys and Navy SEALs and the Green Beret. What you got to remember is we are, first of all, I'm old as shit compared to soldiers. I'm almost 40.
Right.
I joined when I was 17.
Yeah.
I was 6'4", 6'3.5", whatever I was, 177 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 230 now,
Yeah.
without legs.
That's right.
You thicken over time. You don't need to rush,
Yep.
right? Getting thicker is just part of being fit and older. Now there are some guys who get thick at a young age. I remember meeting one guy. He looked 30.
Right.
He was 22.
Right. Yeah.
But he might have been doing a little bit of supplementation,
Right,
if you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
But you don't need to be huge, okay? Because muscle mass affects performance. You know this.
Yep.
But you will develop muscle mass as time goes by. So what I always tell guys is be able to do 10 pull-ups, 50 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and run 10 clicks.
Right.
If you can do all that, you'll be fine.
Right on.
You'll be fine. If you want to up it, do 100 push-ups, 200 sit-ups, run 10 clicks in a decent time.
Yep.
10 clicks, and so if you can run 5 clicks in under 20 minutes, you're good.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah, that's quick.
I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
I mean, 20, 25 minutes, maybe if you want to be a little bit slower. My 10K time used to be like 40 to 45 minutes.
Right on. Cruising.
And I was one of the slower guys.
Yeah, okay.
I've never been a good runner.
Right.
No matter what. I used to be the guy who had to run in the morning and at night just to keep up during unit PT running.
Right. Okay.
Rucksack marching though, Jody can go all day, son.
Right on.
All day. And it's a different kind of fitness.
Yeah.
Carrying a load up and down terrain is a different fitness than being able to run in shorts and running shoes.
For sure.
And what you need when you want to operate, you need that long distance steady pace.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
So if you want to add it to but you need both. Right? Because the unit will go for a run together. And you need to be able to keep up. And most unit runs are between 5 and 10K. 10K, maybe 15 if you really piss somebody off.
Right, okay.
Right? So, but my point is, like, you don't need to be big, you don't need to be able to bench press 315 pounds or whatever. If you read my book, actually, Unflinching, The Making of a Canadian Sniper, available online and at all bookstores in Canada. If you read my book, I made the mistake of getting huge.
That's right.
On my first tour to Afghanistan. I was benching 315, deadlifting, I don't know, like 400, like whatever a good number. I don't even remember. I think it was 5 plates aside, 4 plates aside. I wasn't squatting as much as I probably should have been, but definitely bench pressing way too much. Humongous shoulders. I came home. I couldn't even get behind my sniper rifle.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, what the and I couldn't get comfortable anyway.
Yeah.
I couldn't crawl. Being a sniper means you crawl for up to 2 kilometers at a time. And my endurance was like at the bottom.
Right.
So that's when I did a retool. I went, okay, well, I got to be lean, lean and strong. Like CrossFit, when we used to do CrossFit, we used to call it circuit training. It wasn't quite as intense, I guess, but and again, what job are you doing? We've talked about this before too. Now we're going to go on a bit of a rant. Where was I talking about this? Was I talking about this with you? Pistol versus sniper?
Yeah, I think so. I think we were talking about it on.
Anyway, yeah. Everybody wants to be Jason Bourne.
Yeah.
But even Adam was saying, like, hey man, not all spies are Jason Bourne. Jason Bourne's an assassin. He's a specialized trade. Not everyone is a sniper. Not everyone is a gunfighter. Not everyone is a demolitions expert. You need to figure out what are you doing. If you're a sniper, you need to be able to move long distances, carrying heavy loads, and stay in position for an extended period of time. If you're a door kicker, yeah, man, you can be able to bench 300 pounds and, sprint 100 meters in 10 seconds in full kit.
Right.
But that's all you're doing.
Yeah.
You're doing that, you're extracting by helicopter or whatever, and then you're taking off back to base. You're RTB. You de-gear and you debrief. Woo! That was a good one, boys.
Right, quick and dirty.
Quick and dirty. You're more of a sprinter. If you're a frontline soldier, you kind of got to be, you got to be a bit of an endurance runner.
Right.
You got to be able to hump. You got to be able to stay in spot. You got to have the mental endurance to put up with all types of weather. But you also have the support of your whole company, battalion, battle group behind you. You're not out front like snipers and rookie. We're out the front. We kind of got to rely on just our 2 or 3 or 4-man team.
Right.
If you're a recce platoon, maybe 8, depending on the mission, right? So there's always that balance, and you got to find it. If you're a brand new soldier, you don't need to worry about any of that. You just need to pass basic training. You need to pass battle school. You just got to get to the point where someone calls you soldier.
Right.
15 pull-ups, 50 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and run 5K.
Awesome.
In 25 minutes. And eat good. Nutrition wasn't really something we knew a lot about in the 90s. Now, kids have Google and all that. Try and eat decent. A calorie is a calorie. Bullshit. Don't believe that for a second. Who tells you that? People who don't like to eat good.
That's right.
And so just eat half decent and be able to do those 3 things.
Right on.
You can throw in a little bit of weights, but I wouldn't. Not at the beginning. I mean, he's grade 11.
Yeah.
I was lifting weights at that age, but it wasn't to get really huge.
Yeah. And I mean, like, if he gets proficient in those things, that'll be enough for him.
Well, for where he's at, right? Again, if you're listening to the advice that I'm giving, my point is you will develop into the soldier you want to be. If you like to lift weights, keep lifting weights. Just don't get humongous, because then you can't. When you're in the field, that's going to be energy your body's wasting maintaining muscle mass when it's supposed to be keeping you awake.
That's right.
That's all. But again, eventually you'll figure it out. There were lots of guys that were huge, but frankly, kind of useless in the field.
Right.
They couldn't carry much. They couldn't go very far. They kind of bitched a lot. They needed too much food. Call it what you want, man. I'm able to look the way I look now because I don't soldier anymore.
Right.
Frankly.
Yeah.
But anyway, whatever. What else? What else you got?
That's it.
Is that it?
Yep.
Where are we at? Oh, yeah, an hour 23.
You got it.
Love you guys. Let's get down to it. Subscribe or comment on iTunes and YouTube's.
Yeah.
The Jody Mitic podcast.
Tell us what you think.
We are now on a Facebook page, an Instagram, a Snapchat, and a Twitter. All just search Jody Mitic podcast. This is awesome. We're growing. We're making some moves. Website is still coming.
Yep.
We're taking our time. Look, I'm going to talk right to the camera here. We want quality versus quantity.
You bet.
Right? So everybody, I know there's a bunch of people begging for t-shirts. Things are coming. Give us a good 6 more months-ish.
Oh yeah, that's plenty of time.
Between 3 and 6 months, it'll be well worth the wait. Trust me on that one. We got some shout-outs to our listeners. Wow. New York, Texas, California, Ontario, of course, Alberta. Love my Alberta. In the UK, we got people in London and Manchester, Australia, Down Under, Victoria, New South Wales, and Tasmania.
Yeah, Tasmania. So
I love it.
yeah, so
I
good,
look at
right?
a smile on my face.
So
Someone
good,
from
right?
people from Tasmania are listening.
Yeah, I broke down the downloads geographically, so all these are the highest amount of downloads. Tasmania is not the highest, but it seemed like the one that was like the furthest away and
If
the
you're in
most
Tasmania listening to me and you bullshit,
yeah,
hey man, you're having a good day.
that's right. That's right. I love it.
What's our email? The Gmail.
The Jody Mitic podcast at gmail.com.
Until we get the website going, if you guys want to email Luke and I, the Jody Mitic podcast at gmail.com. Send us your inquiries. We try our best to gather them up, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. But if you really have something you want to say and talk about, that's probably the best place. The Jody Mitic podcast at gmail.com. Again, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Snapchat, we're on Twitter, all as the Jody Mitic podcast. I'm on all the, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat as Jody Mitic, Jodymitic. Luke?
I do Coach Luke Rowan on Instagram and Twitter.
Coach Luke Rowan, Instagram and Twitter. If you want to talk to Luke, maybe ask some advice on nutrition and working out. Episode 11 in the can, buddy. I'm pretty excited. And hopefully video on the YouTube.
Yeah.
We're going to keep getting better. I want to bring in Adam and his buddy next time again. And the website is coming, and we are working our asses off to make some things happen here. Real quick, I'm going to be in Shiloh, Canadian Forces Base Shiloh, on the 23rd, talking to one Royal Canadian Horse Artillery. Super excited about this one. I know you've been working on this for me. So dope. So amazing to be talking to troops. Hopefully my home base, Petawawa, decides to pick up the phone and call me. Because I would love to get back to my old unit and drop some, I don't know, do you want to call it knowledge?
Sure, drop some knowledge. Drop some experience.
Drop some experience. You know, I know I keep saying I'm damn near 40.
Right,
I'm
yeah.
damn near 40. I don't feel old, but when I think about me as 17, 20, 21, 25, guys like me were the only people I want to talk to.
Right.
And I'm not saying that to like toot my own horn, but like if Jocko had shown up when I was like 21, I would have been like groveling at his feet.
Yeah.
Like, just tell me everything. Just fill my brain with your knowledge.
That's right.
Not that I would do that to myself. I don't know. I'm just really excited to be around soldiers and to be able to participate in the development of the next generation.
Awesome.
It's always been a regret of mine is that I didn't teach one more sniper course or teach one more battle school, which is our basic infantry training.
Right.
So again, shout out to our international listeners. We love you. We love everybody that's listening. Thank you for sticking with us. Our listenership keeps growing, so I know you're talking about it. First rule of the Jody Mitic podcast is you talk about the Jody Mitic podcast.
That's right.
With your friends. Keep sending us updates on you. There was a guy who was talking to me about his personal journey to fitness. Dude, call me. I haven't heard from you. We're going to post this on all the Facebooks and all the YouTubes. We're going to keep growing it. I'm rambling now because I'm just excited about this one. This is the Jody Mitic podcast. Remember, guys, we're the good guys. Out.